Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hype, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss this morning's CPI print, what that means for our bags, what that means for rate cuts. We're going to talk about massive buy pressure coming for AVAX. And we're also going to talk about a breakdown of a new interesting protocol on Sonic from our friend Manny. Manny, welcome to the show. It's been a bit since we've had you on. Always love having you on. How you feeling today, Manny?
Dude, I'm doing good, bro. I'm excited. I'm coming off of 2 weeks in Japan, so just getting back into the swing of things. My sleep schedule is oddly adjusted, so feeling pretty good. Excited to talk about Flying Tulip, what that means for the ecosystem, and just the market, man. You know, I was offline kind of, but I was still able to hit a couple of trades, and it's been a good time.
Yeah, you said you're in Japan. You showed me some of those Pokemon cards before. Let's see those. Show the audience. They're gonna like these.
Yeah, I got a 9 base set Charizard.
Let's go.
On there, the Japanese Charizard. I got a 9, and then I got one of my favorite Pokemon is Seal, so I got like a what's it called, a 10 first edition Seal from Japan. So I was super pumped. I got a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of just kind of everything, and the market's pretty underpriced in Japan. They're like, why do you want these old cards? We just want the One Piece cards. Like, that's all they care about. So yeah, thanks, Sam. I appreciate it, dude. Go shave your beard. Thanks.
Ray, I got some Japanese cards.
Oh, let me see them.
Japanese cards, dude.
You ran away. I was wondering what was going on here.
I was looking for my collection. I bought these at a 7-Eleven in Japan. 150 HP random Japanese guy. Boom.
Nice. Solid.
No idea what Pokemon that is. Number 2, Bear.
I like the cases too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a fun fact. It's actually better to not keep them in the case because you want the hands are actually better for the cards. It keeps them healthier. The oil,
the natural
from your,
oil. Yeah,
exactly. It's like moisturizer for the cards, basically. I got this weird ass leaf ass dude, shiny though. Look at this. I mean, you can barely even see you can see that little glittering. Boom. I mean, dude, I'm like Mr. Pokemon. I'm like the Latino Asher. Isn't that the guy's name, Asher?
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Asher caught him. That's
Asher
him.
caught Asher Ketchum. God, Ray, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for Ray's lack of professionalism. And check this one out: limited edition token 2049 Pudgy card from Spencer.
Ooh, nice.
This one actually might be worth something, huh? Shocking penguin. Anyways, yeah, I'm a little bit of a card collector myself, right? Actually, I got one more. I actually have one in a case. 1 second.
He's gone away. Dude, what would be really funny if like one of those cards he had actual value and he's just like throwing it around. It's ungraded. He's just messing it up.
Oh, we got HK Trooper. There's who's gonna tell him he's got maybe $2, maybe $5 in card? That's not true. It's worth as much as I value it because I'm not taking it off the open market. Actually, I'm actually gonna get these sealed. I'm sending them to I got a lot of card people hitting me up. They're like, "Yo, send me your cards. Send me your cards." So, you know, I might do something. Look at this. Lucario. This one actually might be worth like $50. Can
Nice.
someone, Jarvis, how much is a, what is it, PSA 10 Lucario 2019 worth? Probably like a few $1,000 now. Anyways, back to you, Ray.
We've got Pio in the studio. I think I know why. If I were to wager a guess, I would know why. Pio, you look very happy with yourself and very excited this morning. What's going on in your world?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely pretty bummed out yesterday because yesterday was like a top 10 most fucked up thing that's happened in my entire life. Not going to talk about it on the show today. Obviously going to just talk about markets and have fun. You know, right after that shit happened, Open made the announcement that everybody's been looking for. So before this, I had talked about OpenDoor Technologies being like a bit of a fixer-upper, and the issue was that the board was pushing back. By the way, a cleaning lady's about to come here for the first time, so I'm going to have to let her in a second. She's texting me in Spanish right now. She couldn't find the apartment, but she's going to pop in, Ingrid. But anyway, so
saying her name is crazy.
There is a cleaner named Ingrid who is supposed to be coming to my place in 20 minutes.
Well, dude, actual story.
Mine is. Actual story. My realtor, my cleaner is going to come Thursday between 9:30 10 a.m. Her name is Ingrid, but she canceled. So I guess she went over to PO's instead.
She just said to me, what did she just say? She said, "Why? How do you pronounce Y-A? Ja?
Yeah.
Ja. Yeah. She said, ja subiendo. So she's coming up. Does that mean she's already coming up?
Yeah, she's coming up. Ya subiendo. She's gonna be here.
All right. She's about to be here. Sapphire's going to let me know when she's here. So check it out. So OpenDoor Technologies, the fixer-upper part was the fact that Keith Rabois, one of the original co-founders and tech giant, was not on the board. He thinks the board is dumb. I think she's here. Just one second.
Yeah. So OpenDoor is doing well. Hey, you know what? While he's away, Clemente, why don't we just kick a weather report off?
Let's do it.
And then when he comes back, we can go back into the open.
100%, Raymond. I thought you would never ask. Ladies and gentlemen, today's a special day. We got Manny on the show. PO coming on as well. Things are looking up on the day as well. It's Thursday, September 11th. Looking over at the crypto roundup, the majors are even on the day. We got Bitcoin just under 114, Ethereum at 4,400, Solana's at 226. Not a peep on the timeline. People are real. I think people are sidelined on their Solana, man. They're sidelined and they're not talking too much about it. Hype at $54 looks good. AVAX, Ray, show me AVAX, please. What's AVAX at? 28 buckaroos.
It's in the weather report.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Over the past 24 hours, US CPI data came in this morning slightly above expectations, with month-over-month consumer prices rising 0.4% versus 0.3% estimates. Odds for a 50 BPS, 50 bips as the experts call it, cut in September plummeted with a 25 BPS cut now favored at 88%. PO, please pay attention. I can see your eyes moving and not looking at me while I'm reading the weather report. Next up, news broke that the Avalanche Foundation, AVAX baby, is in talks to set up 2 digital asset treasury companies with the goal of $1 billion of funding for initial purchases. Good God. The AVAX boys are doing some moon math on this, and they're going, yo, this funding is 8% of the total circulating supply of AVAX. Under proper math, this thing should probably be worth around $1,200, which is like a 600x. So huge news over there, 60x. Finally, Hyperliquid continues to pump as Van Eck announces plans to file for a Hype ETF. That's insane. Wow. The USDH stablecoin proposal wars now look to be decided. Native Markets is surging over 90% on Polymarket as they have acquired 53% of validator nodes. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff going on today. Back to you in the studio.
72% now for validators going to native markets. There was some FUD on the timeline saying Paxos is trying to bribe people and pay people off. This was argued by many people familiar with Paxos, saying that this is just baseless FUD. So it looks like this is wrapping up. It looks like native markets is going to get the USDH bid. However, that pales in comparison to the CEO of the Carvana of houses being announced, PO.
Yeah, just real quick. TLDR, Keith Rabois, the original co-founder and the guy that the board seemed like they were trying to keep off, is he's actually now the chairman of the board. Okay, so which is insane. So he's not only on the board, he's the chairman of the board. They also brought the former CEO, Eric Wu, onto the board, which other people were calling for. They did not bring Eric Jackson onto the board, the investor, but that's like fine. It like literally is fine. He's just going to be talking to Rabois, and Rabois is just going to be getting the shit that he wants to get done. And they brought in a new CEO. People were calling for Travis Kalanick from Uber, but like I always thought that was a long shot. They brought the CEO from Shopify, COO from Shopify, and I mean I don't know. Nick feels like that's a really good call. The market loved it. Yeah, this guy right here, Kaz Nejadian, so probably Armenian guy. They definitely the market loved it, and yeah, people are calling for like $30 by the end of the year. It's at what's it at right now?
781 pre-market.
330, bro. 330.
330?
Yeah.
By the end of the year?
No, into the middle of next year. Once you get the last rate cut, right? Because you have to think about it. The volume of the supply goes through the interest rates that people are going to be able to buy homes at. And when you get that big of a cut, yeah, I'll pull up a chart. Hang on, let me share my screen real quick.
$330.
330. I'm gonna put that 330 line up there.
We're just throwing numbers.
So when we look at the open door chart, we see this line drawn at 330. We're like, that's Manny right there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pull you up, Manny. Here you go.
Yeah. So we have an ascending wedge, which isn't great, but you have to get a ton of volume to break through. But you're chilling right here on the 618. You get that out to the 1618. It's a 1-to-1 extension, 323. That's my target.
The stock is $7 right now, Manny. If it goes to $350 by next summer, I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 330 or 309. I'll start trimming around there. And
if it goes to 330, I will have $1.83 million of this stock.
Well, you're gonna have $1 million of the stock, dude. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Now, as a seasoned meme coin investor myself, a lot of the times this is typically what you call a sell the news event. I'm wondering, should I be taking profits here?
Yes.
What's the next bullish catalyst?
Yes, do it, Clemente, please. Our bags depend on it.
No, sell it. So wait, Manny, you have OpenDoor too?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got some when you mentioned it, and then the all-in guys started talking about it. So then I sized in, and I'm just holding, bro. I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. Do you have over or under 5,000 shares, Manny?
About that much.
Let's get that number and that average cost reported. But anyway.
Yeah, IRS, hello.
Please excuse the camera adjustment. Obviously didn't want to. Anyway, so real quick, last thing on this, Clemente. So you're talking about the sell the news event. No, it's not a sell the news event. There probably will be a pullback or something. That's how things work. That's how markets work. So I wouldn't be surprised if it pulls back. I don't think it's just going to be, a straight up piss missile up. I just feel generally like people that chase narratives and chase hot stocks have to get wrecked over and over again. So I just feel like in any situation, if someone's going to chase this stock today, they have to lose money and they have to get shaken out within days and just sell for a loss quickly. So anyway, look, people really believe in this thing. And they think that, well, Keith Roboy, someone asked if that guy Kaz is going to go to San Francisco. Keith Roboy said even better. What does that mean? Does that mean they're going to move the office out of San Francisco, let go of the 1,400 employees that are over there, and just run with a lean 200-person team like Keith Roboy said they should have, and move it to Miami, where Keith Roboy lives? Is that what they're going to do? I don't know.
I love reading into this.
I don't know.
Even better. Oh, I know what they're going to do. They're going to just completely shake everything up.
I don't know.
This is actually like a cool thing to see play out, whether you own the stock or not. It's like a real-time huge CTO. We see these with like meme coins and like people in the mother's basement being like, yo, so I'm going to take over this thing. I'm going to get the creator fees and I'm going to use those creator fees to do X, Y, and Z. And this is like corporate ass high-level people just taking over a stock and being like, we gotta fix this shit.
Sir Heavy Bags goes, people really believed in Enron? I'm assuming that's just a joke, but it's like, are you okay, bro? Like, this is just a company that is making a real estate marketplace. This isn't that insane. And by the way, they're like $21 million ahead of their revenue target for this quarter right now. So here we go.
Real estate hasn't seen a major disrupt yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you have Redfin? You know what I'm saying? Zillow, maybe, right? Like, outside of that, like, people don't have houses. The interest rates were too high. They're going to come down. Some of this tariff money is going to spill into stimmy money. They're going to bring back the American dream, and then everyone's going to have houses, and then they're going to need something to buy it on. And then there's the Vanguard effect of people being fee conscious, so then they'll just use OpenDoor. And when it hits 330, I'll be laughing, and then I'll say, I fucking told you so. But don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't buy it. Like, it's okay. Like, being rich is a choice. And if you don't want to make it, that's on you.
Don't buy it. That's my message to everyone. Do not buy this thing. I said that on the first day. I'm saying it today. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Do not buy it.
This feels targeted. I think that also like people are becoming like kind of experts of additional domains, real estate being one of them, like talking to ChatGPT about real estate and how to like sell your house. Like it becomes much easier to go through these processes, and you realize like the value add of a real estate agent isn't what it was before. Like everyone finds their home at Zillow. My real estate agent hammered the sign into my house on the ground, like the for sale sign outside. And he goes, I don't even know why we do this anymore. Everyone just buys houses based off Zillow. No one drives by your house and sees the sign, or like it's all based on Zillow.
No, that does happen. I mean, people see the sign and they're like, oh, okay. Well, because think about it. Like over here, I don't know Miami, right? So if I want to check out a neighborhood like Miami Shores, for example, which I've heard about, but I don't know much about it. I'd have to drive there to check out the neighborhoods and get a feel for the neighborhoods. And so if I saw a sign, it would make sense. But to your point, Ray, I totally agree with you. And the other thing is like Manny pointed out, real estate is still run in the borderline identical, archaic way that it always has. The only difference is that the listings are published online instead of the literal physical newspaper, which obviously that was going to happen. But the paperwork, when you close the house, you do most of the paper. When we closed last year, it was literally just going into an office and signing pieces of paper in a law office. And I mean, like, sure, the real estate agent might send the initial agreement with you via DocuSign. But other than that, it's the same process that it always was. It needs a disruption. Having said that, that doesn't mean that OpenDoor is automatically the number one success that's going to be the single platform that people use and it's the winner no matter what. But people seem to believe that it is in the best position. If you ask Keith Raboy, he'll say it has fewer competitors than Carvana. And I don't know any other tech companies that are attacking this. I mean, I really don't. I guess ticker OPAD is one, if that's correct. But anyway,
isn't it Zillow and Redfin? Like, aren't they like? Could they enter that same market? They already have like a decent amount of like exposure and user base. Like, why can't they expand?
You know, I think people think those companies suck. Like when you start talking about those, people are like, nah, those companies suck. Which makes sense because they've been around for a long time, or at least Zillow's been around for a very, very long time. And it's not like it's, been doing anything. They would need to get a tech CEO and they'd have to want to do this. They'd have to want to build out an online marketplace. And I think they'd have to want to take ownership of homes. T.O. Chade said that they do suck. I don't know why. I have to learn more. I initially bought into this because of motion, because of the motion of the stock. And now I'm going to hold it to $330, Manny's target, because of actual conviction that I have to build deeper.
At what point did you get in on the motion? Was it this initial run up to I think it was right around here. We talked about it.
Should we look up my first buy?
I bet you're in like the 2 to 250 zone.
Let's look up in the first buy.
I feel like that's when we talked about it here.
OpenDoor Technologies. Let's go to history.
My first buy was $3.30. That's when PO came on the show to talk about it.
Interesting. So my first buy was $3.98, which is actually higher than my average cost, which is interesting. That's actually very interesting. My best. Go ahead.
That was probably on July 25th.
July 21st.
21st, yes, 2025. That's right. Yep.
And then my best buy, I got 2 buys at $2.05. Those couldn't have been easy to make. I got a buy at $2.40. I got buys at $2.93. And then I'm just going hard from $3 to $3.66. We're talking about 1,000 shares between $3 and $3.66. And then, dude, this thing's been volatile, man. I'm seeing buys at $3.56 after buys at $4.17. I'm seeing buys at $5.14. Yeah, I mean, I bought this thing a lot at a lot of different prices, and my overall average price, let me just get that. So it's on wax here on September 11, 2025. The average cost is $3.88 on 5,590 shares.
Happy 2x on average cost day here. You're basically almost exactly a 2x from where your average is. Gotta love that.
Yeah, T.O. Chade's pointed out, like my best entries were after my initial. If I just plowed all my money in at my initial, I'd have a higher average cost right now. Shovel Dad is pointing out that he got assigned on shares. That's because that's because this stock sucks for options because it's a moonshot, and moonshots aren't good for selling options. They're good for buying calls. So I bought my first option ever on this thing, and we'll see if it ends up being in the money by, I think it's October 10th is the expiration date. It's going to be a very interesting experience for me. It's only like $120 of risk, so I'm comfortable with it. What's so funny, guys?
The comment on screen, Ingrid going to be so rich off this alpha. Guys, as she's in the room with Pio, listening to him shill OpenDoor. Gotta love it. She's going to go home and plow the savings into OpenDoor as this thing goes straight to 330.
So last thing, I had put options sold at the money because early on I was trying to run the wheel strategy on this because I was a complete idiot. And I'd sold put options at $3.50. And then the thing went to like $2. And I was like, oh boy, am I cooked on those. Get this. Those ended up working out. That's how volatile this thing was. Is it snapped back above 350 by the time those things ended up expiring. So anyway, that was Wolfie saying that I first discussed the thesis at $3.30. He used a different way of describing me presenting the thesis for the hottest stock in the stock market within, call it 21 days of anybody in the planet knowing about the thesis. But yeah, anyway, there you go.
Yeah, you forget we're all due into the same day 100x though, PO, courtesy of Sam Penny here.
I genuinely believe there's people in the audience that are interested in completely changing their financial situation and becoming actually rich and becoming actual millionaires by holding assets that appreciate to $1 million positions, and then just still not selling them because they're going to continue to go up over time.
Speaking of going up over time, Avalanche 2888 up.
I'm going to dip, guys, to talk to her, but I'll see you guys.
Sounds good. See you, Pia. Thanks for joining. Avalanche up to 2888 off of that news. This is crazy. So they're looking to raise $1 billion to raise $1 billion to form two digital asset treasury companies. The first will be led by HiveMind Capital via a NASDAQ listed firm with crypto investor. And then the other is with former White House press secretary Anthony Scaramucci. And then a SPAC with Dragonfly Capital.
The mooch doesn't miss, bro. That guy can cook.
Yeah, this is wild. Did you see that? You talked about the moon math. Did you see this one, Clemente? This post talking about the Avalanche treasuries.
I did
basically
see
saying like Saylor accumulated 3% of Bitcoin. Tom Lee has got 1.4% of ETH, and then this $1 billion of AVAX to be 8% of the supply, and then calls for $1,200 AVAX.
Why would this be? So at $1 billion at today's price, they would own 8% of the supply. They're basically taking the current price or the 1 billion divided by $28 and calculating what percentage of supply that would be with the circulating.
Yeah, you're looking at
or are they actually doing the math on like basically
what they're doing is, yeah, they're not doing the buy math, I don't think, because as you buy it, the price is going to go up. You can't just dump $1 billion in and like have it like your entry price be here. They're just looking at 1/12 essentially. Got it. Because we're at a $12 billion market cap. $1 billion over $12 billion is 1/8. Or sorry,
the question
8%.
is whether or not they buy this in the open market is the biggest thing. I know that the foundation is in talks with them. What would be interesting is how much is the foundation selling some of their AVAX to it.
I think there might be because they're looking at I see at a discount here.
Yeah, so that might be from the AVAX Foundation, which is still bullish, but not as bullish, obviously, right? You want them buying the circulating AVAX, not AVAX that's held by the foundation. It would be cool if at some point we see, and maybe part of this is also buying some AVAX off the open market. But either way, AVAX has been looking good recently. What is that? It's up 20% in the last month?
Yeah, over 20% last month, 22%. Over the month, 16% on the week, 1% on the day. So
I mean, I'm curious for Manny's thoughts on it. I also, it's been since I first got really exposed to AVAX was like basically a year ago when I went to the summit in Argentina. And what I like about AVAX is that they have firmly found their niche and what their use case is, which is just like helping companies go on chain through launching their own L1s, right? And leveraging AVAX's tech for it and going like basically full on the RWA route. And they're just trying to tokenize everything. And for a while, that was like basically crypto Twitter didn't care about that, right? Because they're like, we see Solana, we see Sui, we see like Base, and we just want to like do things we can use ourselves. AVAX is basically like a B2B product almost, right? Versus this B2C that's like Solana. So yeah, I'm curious what Manny thinks on the news and just AVAX as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, Vo moved over to AVAX. That's all I needed to hear, bro. She got into Magic Eden early. Like, she gets it. She's like, she knows when stuff's undervalued. And AVAX is a 10 bagger. There's a 10x in AVAX.
That'd be fantastic. I also hold a lot of, I mean, obviously disclaimer, we work with AVAX. We've been working with them for almost like a year now.
Yeah, when did you go to Argentina? That's been
October of last year.
221 is the target I'd be looking at. AVAX.
221.
Yeah, I mean, you're forming an inverse head and shoulders on this thing. And then that would, let me put that on.
Let's get the I like Manny's charts. It's just
Manny's charts are just like
any asset I hold, I just need Manny to give me his target and just add to that conviction. Whatever I'm thinking about selling, just hit up Manny, be like, hey, give me targets on this.
20x.
It's about there. Look, let me share my screen.
Yes, pull it up.
Share screen. AVAX. That's what I'd be looking at. Like 207, right under the 1618. So, I mean, we just finished this inverse head and shoulders, dip down to here. Head would probably be right here. Something like that, around here. And then that's it. And then, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. What do you make of that pattern, Clemente?
I mean, that looks, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but this looks good. I mean, I like price go up. Either said, I've been holding AVAX over the last 2 years has been brutal. So was, and by the way, I'm not saying go buy AVAX. We're talking about what's going on and kind of talking general price action. Holding Ethereum for 3 years was brutal until Tom Lee decided to stop buying it. Like I capitulated all of my Ethereum, and then in 3 months we saw what Ethereum did, and it's just like it's an institution's game at the end of the day. So that's what I'll say. I'm not saying you should buy AVAX. I'm not saying you should buy it over Solana or whatever it is. This is just our stance on it, and you know we'll see how it plays out. But it's been cool seeing that ecosystem that's been on this route for years now start to see some of the results from it.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of these, like the effect that these institutional bids have, like just look at Solana when the narrative shifted that Solana treasuries are like coming and are like the new meta. Like we have been up only on Solana. We saw the Sol ETH pair flip. Yesterday we had news Forward Industries closed a $1.65 billion private placement in cash. We had Sol Markets, STSS, Sol Strategy, just become the largest holder of Solana via their treasury. So we're seeing more and more companies enter this space, which is very bullish Solana, and I think we're seeing it reflect in the price action. We're getting ready to break this 228 mark here. Very bullish.
Manny, what's your stance on like the people calling for the top and people
Let them go for it, bro.
What is your, do you think we're in a 4-year cycle? Do you think we're going to see like this 50% pullback that we've seen in historical like bear markets? I'm curious how you think about it.
Let me find my bots tech or whatever ETH targets. Give me 1 second while I pull this up.
Are these written down? You got like a notebook with your price targets?
Yeah. I have a 12K ETH target at the end of 27. We're coming into a low, and then everything I'm looking to get rid of like August to September into October of 26 into the midterms. Because after that, there's real no catalyst, and then you start like we get like the blow off top at the end of 20 at the beginning of 27, and then that's when I'd be looking at that. Hang on, I have to find it. Where is it? Yeah, I have like a analyst or whatever that I made that's an AI agent that like does all of my trading now. So it has been doing most of it. So, and yeah, okay. So let's see. Wave 3, 7,800 to $8,400 Ethereum coming in late Q1 and Q2 of 26, and then a consolidation in the middle of like what is that? They're early H2, so June, July, 5,800 on ETH, and then the blow off top is 9,800 to 12K in early 27. And then you're going into a multi-year bear cycle.
And are you saying the bear cycle will come on equities as well? Like, are you viewing the same thing for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you'll get all of the market uncertainty into the next election, and until you have a clear front runner, the market doesn't like risk, and it doesn't like speculation of political uncertainty, undoing of tariffs, like what's going to happen, political turmoil, this, that, whatever, jobs, whatever. So that's just kind of where I'm at.
Sam Penny, Manny's 1,000% a time traveler.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is Manny at this point. This might just be like an AI.
No, it's me, dude. Look, I can do that. All 10 fingers.
All 10 fingers is great.
Ray, what are your? I mean, I do like that. I like hearing we got another year and a half, 2 years.
I don't know. I'm going to be personally sizing out Q4 this year into Q1 of next year, at least a decent chunk into stables to be able to buy a dip potentially. Wow. But if Manny's thesis holds true, like doing that I may miss the blow off top, but I may also have powder for mid 2026 if it
Dude, this is the thing, bro, is like nobody catches the absolute top, nobody catches the absolute bottom. DCA in, DCA out. As long as you made more money than you had, that's all that matters. Like, who cares, right? Because it's your money. Like, I'm not competing with anyone else. Like, I'm just making more money.
That's fair enough. Speaking of making money, I have a little purchase I'm going to make on OpenSea right now. Love our friends over at OpenSea. Today there's an NFT purchase, and there's been one I've been eyeing for a while from our boy Festige in the Discord talking about other deeds. I'm going to be making the other deeds purchase right now. I think I'm going to buy this one. This one looks pretty sweet. Nice. I just want to grab a floor other deed here. This one looks like it'd be a fun one to play on if they eventually like allow you to play on the land, which I think is part of it. Give me a little volcano in the other deed to play on. I'm a bit of a gamer, enjoy MMOs. I would love to see some sort of crypto open world metaverse exist, and I think that they have the best shot to do it currently. So I'm pretty bullish on other deed. When Festige gives me tips about gaming and gaming investment opportunities, I listen. I bought Hutch. I made some money on Hutch, the CS2 skin token. He's been very, very bullish. I think other deeds is one of his biggest.
What was that, Ray? Was that like the sound that comes when you buy it?
Yeah, that's nice.
Like
They've really got like the sound effects like cranked up here, because then like when you go into your reward too, you get the fun reward completion. So completing a voyage here. If you weren't paying attention earlier in this week, OpenSea had a big announcement regarding their token rewards, all of that. Basically, they're gonna have more information on the airdrop next month. We're gonna see some treasure chests. They're gonna basically level up as you go. So completing voyages is great. They're very easy to do. They showcase cross-chain trading, which is huge on OpenSea. We've talked about it before. If you're looking to get like into Hyperliquid and like you're like, how do I get on the Hyper EVM? Like you can just go right from OpenSea into Hyper EVM now. You can buy Hype with your ETH on OpenSea. So love to see their cross-chain token trading. They continue to be like the leading NFT platform. Absolutely love working with them. Love using this platform, stacking rewards. Hopefully get a good chunk for being a power user in 2021, a continued buyer during the bear market, and now a farmer of the new platform via these voyages in 2025. So excited for that to come about. Excited to continue to use OpenSea. It just feels.
Wait, what is that? You got 2 ETH? You're rich, bro. What is that up on the top of your profile? 2 ETH and 2 ETH?
No, it's 0 ETH and 0.5 ETH.
Oh, I take it back. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm broke right now. ETH broke at the moment on this wallet. So we just spent the last of it. But you know we know what we are rich in?
Materials and other side.
Yep, but also we are very rich in, let's pull it up. We've been talking about these. We're rich in bad buns. We've got 6 of these bad boys now. They're all the way up to they're all the way. I misclicked.
They're holding up well. I'm considering buying one just as like insurance for me to sleep at night, because right now I have no MegaETH exposure, and it looks like from what you've been telling me, these MegaETH is doing well. Damn, what are they at? What's the top offer? 0.3?
Yep, 0.3. These dropped all the way down below 0.2. I think I put an offer in like sub 0.2. I had that on the timeline when these weren't catching attention. But best MegaETH exposure, they're continuing to move towards their chain launch. So I think that these continue to be the best way to get exposure. I don't know if right now it's time to buy as they pumped, but I'm happy with what I've been buying and continue talking about them.
I like bread a lot. And then the other guys who have a morning show are super into these too. I mean,
yeah, legendary.
I'll take some borrowed conviction. Why not?
Yep, these are nice. I don't know if like right now is the time. They might pull back again, but it's nice to see them on a run here. I think we've covered basically all of the news for today. So what I want to do is I want to tap into Manny's brain and talk about this protocol, Flying Tulip. So I was sitting in bed on, I don't know, was it this Saturday or last Saturday? And I saw somebody talking about Flying Tulip on the timeline. It was like in the back of my head is something I needed to pay attention to. Andre Cronje, I mean, Manny's gonna do a better job explaining this, but I just did like a deep dive on AI, just like giving me all the information on Cronje, all the information on Sonic, all the information on Sonic Tulip. And it interested me enough from what I've seen to bring somebody who's kind of like a domain expert on that this could be a cool opportunity going forward. Because I think like the token sale and launch could be coming as soon as maybe next month. I don't know if I'm wrong here, but I'd love to turn the floor over to you, Manny, and like give us a breakdown on what Flying Tulip is, why it could potentially be important, and how to like get exposure or get involved.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're seeing is that it's like the first real hyperliquid competitor to kind of come on board on that side, and they already have like enough financial institutions like talking about it. They have like a good protocol, it runs fast, and the memory saves a lot, and then they have a ton of uptime, right? Because that's the biggest thing that everybody talks about, like why they aren't going to choose Sol because of the uptime. And I'm like, dude, miss me with that bullshit. That's super dumb. But I think we're going to see a lot of attention into these like hyperliquid natives. Like when you think about them onboarding like the 400 million PayPal users to buy hype, right? Like there's going to be someone who wants to do more, right? And really where the fees kind of matter is when you're moving stuff in size, right? So when you get these bigger players, bigger market makers to kind of come in, they're going to want to save money on fees. I'm not saying it's going to be the end all be all, but it'll be a competitor. Whether it's good or not, the market will decide that side. But that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Could you just give, for someone who's not familiar at all, like what is Flying Tulip at a high level? Like what is it and what makes it potentially different than Hyperliquid?
Pretty much, it's the easiest way to think about it is like a lower fee Hyperliquid. Is just like their pairs are going to be a little bit better, and then you'll be able to get not as wrecked on slippage on like entering a position in size, allegedly, right? So I mean, pretty much it's the same thing. It's like you have Jeff, the quant, and now you have Andre, the South African quant. and then that's who's building this. And like true builders, right, who've been in like, they started DeFi summer in like before anybody else was here, right? So they get DeFi, they understand kind of everything on the DeFi side. So I think it'll cook.
Yeah, I mean, Andre Cronje was the founder and like lead of Yearn, right? And that was basically the yield platform in 2021, I believe, with DeFi Summer.
Yeah, he did that, and then he was like early FTM guy. So they did like all of the like ohm forks and all of the things that happened with that stuff. And I don't know, dude, the guy knows how to make stuff go up. So I don't know. Nobody in this space is patient. So all you have to do is just buy and forget, and just delete the app off your phone and stop looking at it every day. So that's kind of my thing.
Okay. They have an interesting launch in terms of like their launch mechanics and their investment. It looks like they're trying to raise $1 billion. Are you familiar with like how they're doing that investment launch? Are you like participating at all?
I'll be participating in the public part. Like you had to like send an email to them to get like an angel check-in or something. Still waiting to hear back on the email on that side, but what's it called? Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll cook, right? I mean, imagine missing Hyperliquid and then just trying to cope and then get in on that cope play. Like, I think that's kind of where the market will be on it.
Yeah, I mean, the raise, like, I mean, I wish I could get in. I'm not an accredited investor. But like they have like this very interesting
Yet, Ray. The keyword is yet.
Yeah, they have this very interesting mechanic on their raise. So essentially, when people are investing in them, they have a 100%. They're calling it 100% put option on the investment. So what essentially they're saying is like they are guaranteeing that if you put 10 ETH at sale, you can pull out your 10 ETH at any time, or whatever the pro rata value is. So essentially, what they're doing is using the money to seed their liquidity. And they're basically the yield on that initial seed money is going to power the protocol. So essentially, they're not taking the investors' money and like spending it on staff, etc. They're using it to seed initial liquidity and then basically using the yield on that initial $1 billion to fund protocol growth. So they have this weird and like very like investor focused raise where like it's essentially like quote unquote no risk or low risk essentially. Like you still have like platform risk, and you have like maybe depegs and issues that could happen with yield platforms. But like that jumped out as me as something that was like super interesting here. The sale looks like it's going to happen in October, raising $1 billion. And this is going to be on Sonic, or is this on its own? Like kind of like,
It's on Sonic. It's on Sonic. It's on Sonic. It's on chain, but the biggest thing is like you have to look at their partnerships that they have with Aave. Right. So you're talking about like some deep liquidity players that can go cross chain, and then you can do cross chain yields, and then like they have what it takes to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, Andre Cronje is like, I mean, he is a big name in the space. Like we said, like he is like entrenched in DeFi and has been constantly building in DeFi. So yeah, this is an opportunity I'm excited about. I wanted to bring you on to learn a little bit more, to talk about it as well, and throw some thoughts at you. So like the play here is what essentially, if you want to get exposed to this, you're basically buying it at public when it launches.
Yeah, pretty much. Or just wait like a month after it loses all the hype, and then people like pull up the Hyperliquid chart.
Okay, yeah, actually, yeah, we did have that pullback on hype after the initial like kind of run up. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, because like when you have investors in at like essentially like free cost basis, like I think it changes the mechanics of things, because they're like not concerned about losing money if they can just essentially take out initial funds 1-to-1. So like I feel like that could be super bullish for initial price action.
It's like getting in on the first 3 days, right? Get any buys in the first 3 days, like you're good. You know what I'm saying? Or you wait, and then you just go all the way to the other side of the chart until you get back to like the range lows of the first day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And that's just kind of the way. If I miss the first 3 days, then I just won't think about it, or I just miss the trade completely, and that's okay. But look at this hyperliquid chart. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally no matter when you bought, you're up right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting I'm not expecting Flying Tulip to have the success of hyperliquid,
No.
but I am.
Yeah.
I do think that if it does prove to be a worthy competitor, it can, and I think there is like an invisible value add for Andre Cronje.
I mean, dude, ETH had BNB, right? Look at BNB. Look at ETH. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hyperliquid. Now you have Flying Tulip. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why not?
So let's talk about knock-on effects then. So say this comes out successful, like this is good for Sonic as well, like Sonic token. Yeah. I haven't looked at Sonic token. I actually completely exited after the airdrop because I was just like, this is crazy. And I think a lot of people did. We did see like a spike earlier this year in Sonic, basically running all the way up to.
That was the FTM migration.
Yeah.
When you could migrate to it, and all you have to do is wait. I mean, they have a good market maker. They have a GSR. They're the same market maker for Sol. So you just wait. You know what I'm saying? I look at a chart like this and I'm just like, oh, dude, they're keeping the price down so they can accumulate. Galaxy has $10 million of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would Galaxy buy $10 million of this if it wasn't a thing?
I mean, everyone loses bets sometimes, but I mean, this chart is pretty bottomed out. I would love to see like the continuation with FTM versus this in terms of market cap. Would accumulating Sonic token or any other like Sonic ecosystem tokens make sense if you thought Flying Tulip would be a success or at least hyped?
I would just have Sonic. I would have Sonic. I would have Flying Tulip. And those are probably the two that I would want. I mean, Shadow's a pretty good DEX on there. There's a bunch of other DEXs, SwapFi, and then those are pretty much like the two big ones. And then there's FT, which is like the Jupiter of of Sonic. But yeah, I mean, you just have to be patient with the ecosystem, and you have to wait for enough institutions to come on board, and then the liquidity to be deep enough to enter stuff in size, or the fees like kind of matter.
Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely trying to position myself in a way that like could set myself up if this succeeds. So like I said, I was literally sitting in bed and I saw some posts about Flying Tulip and I dove deeper and I was like, okay, this could be an opportunity.
Yeah.
So maybe Sonic, maybe Flying Tulip, or I mean, maybe Sonic, probably Flying Tulip at launch are going to be the plays.
No one's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a very niche part of crypto Twitter that has Sonic on their mind. So just wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then once everybody starts talking about it, then that's when I start kind of trimming out, because I'm like, I don't want the same people on crypto Twitter to have my bags. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're too emotional.
No, 100% agree, and that's also part of the thesis. It's not widely talked about at this point. So I always try to go down the risk curve and then do my due diligence on things like this, new chains, new apps, and this one kind of crossed my radar as something that was super interesting. So hopefully, if you're listening, you found some value here. Dive into it. You can follow at Flying Tulip _ to get updates on X. You can also follow Andre Cronje if you're not already. That's just like a must follow in the DeFi space. Andre Cronje Tech on X, CRONJE. That's how you spell his last name, to stay up to date on the latest there. Speaking of, I mean, so like, I think we're pretty much good on the Sonic and Flying Tulip front. But I want to know if there's any other protocols you've been paying attention to, what else you've been doing on chain. I know you were away for a little bit, but like, what's been exciting you in terms of like on chain at this stage when we're kind of just like chopping in price and haven't seen a whole lot going on?
On chain, the BONK fund stuff looked interesting. BONK ecosystem looked good. Pump is doing its thing. That's going really well. Trying to think. I think on chain, like I've hit a couple of trades, but nothing like too crazy on that side. Really just kind of waiting for the attention to come back once like the FOMO streamer integrations start to kind of come in. on that side, just waiting for those to get some momentum to really just have that liquidity to be able to kind of trade it, right? Because I trade the volume, and the on-chain volume's been pretty low as of right now. So I've pivoted to the stock market, and then that's been going pretty well. Just buying Bitcoin miners, just kind of hedging just against like, I don't know, inflation risks. So anything Bitcoin adjacent, like from a Bitcoin miner, a lot of quantum stuff. I've been looking at a lot of quantum. Like everyone's like in my circles, like long on quantum. So I've been like deep diving into quantum. And then there's like one rat token that I'll just talk to you about on Discord, but like that's kind of it.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned BONK Fund. Did you see the World Liberty Financial announcement this morning or yesterday?
Yeah, the US1 pairs that started coming out. Yeah.
They're doing USD1 pairs, World Liberty Financial with BONK Fund and Radium. Radium's
That was a 20 bagger. Like the World Liberty Fi was a 20 bagger.
Yeah, that was a crazy one if you were able to get in on that. You also mentioned you're gonna be watching interest rates. What are your projections for interest rate cuts? I think we've been pretty much on board with like 3 this year, just 325 BIP cuts across the board. Are you pretty much on the same mindset?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like the Goldman guy confirmed that they're gonna do 25 guaranteed in September. So that one's pretty interesting. I have like a Polymarket bet open for 250 billion in tariffs collected or whatever. So if you go to the tariffs, just type in tariffs. 2025, yeah.
This one?
Where is it? Like the 250 billion in 2025. Where is it? The revenue or whatever on tariffs.
Is it just Q3?
No, it's supposed to be 2025.
So this would be what, politics or economy?
I think it's in economy on tariff revenue. Let me find it. I'll send you the link.
Taxes.
Let me find it.
Maybe I can all and go tariff and it will filter.
Will the tariffs generate greater than 250 billion in 2025?
Polymarket needs to fix their searches. Like this doesn't. Come on. Do you have the link?
Oh, just do will tariffs.
I'm about to refresh.
And then search that. That's weird. Yeah,
you sent the link in the private chat.
You had it. Just go back right there. It was right there when you click the little search window. Click on that.
All right, there we go. We found it. Finally. Finally. All right. Well, tariff share rate greater than 250 billion in 2025. This is a 6% chance. You're on the yes here?
Yeah, I'm on the yes.
Wow. So this is a very big, very like low odds, big payoff bet.
Yeah, they're doing, what are they doing? 50 billion a month right now. So like the low side is 300 billion in net tariffs. The high side is 400 billion by end of year. So that one's looking pretty good. I think that's some underpriced attention that I'm kind of going in on. But I don't know. We'll see. I think that's kind of the only other stuff that I'm into.
How delayed are the tariff revenues coming out? Because I'm looking like this market resolves February 28th to know.
Yeah, the report will come out in, I think, December 21st is when it comes out.
Okay, interesting. So this would be 2024's revenue, and it would include tariffs on here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yes, here. So this is a moonshot bet, and you're saying, like, are you pretty confident in this? Or are you saying like these just risk-adjusted return is like really good?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that we'll get like 300, if not 400 billion in revenue. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. But the market will do what the market does. So I mean, low side is like 220. So if there was like a 200 billion hedge, I'd probably hammer that for like the covered call option on it. But yeah, that's kind of it.
Interesting. We talked about a lot today. Thank you for hopping on, Manny. We've had a ton of
Thanks for
fun.
having me. Appreciate
I love
it.
having you on. Yeah, we're gonna have you on again in a couple of weeks when the gang heads out to Asia. We're gonna have some more Manny time on the show. Always love when you're on. Always love to get your takes, and especially love your price targets.
Yeah.
They have me feeling bullish and giving me conviction. Thank you all for listening. It's been a wonderful show. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple. You can also watch us on YouTube. See what we're talking about in real time. See Manny's